Hey guys, Buffner Gaming back today bringing another video, and today, now that the beta has dropped, we do have reveals of brand new weapons that we thought were rumored, and now it has been confirmed by Infinity Ward now that the beta has dropped, and we can see them in the beta build. Although they're not unlockable, we can still inspect them and take a look at them. So right now I'm going to run through and give you a full list of the weapons that we know so far as of the beta build. So we'll run through. This is kind of an updated video from the previous video I did regarding the rumors for these weapons. So this is just going to be a confirmation, and we'll go through the full list as of the beta build. Now these weapons may change when the final game is released. There could be more additions to the weapons, but I don't see them taking away any weapons by the time the full game releases. So as of now, I think this is what we can expect when the game releases. Level caps may change, but we'll find out more about that when the game actually releases. So let's get into it here. First off, you have your standard M4A1. This right now, hands down, best gun in the beta currently. And that's obviously your U.S. Army standard 5.56mm rounds. It has a very fast rate of fire and pretty good damage. So it's a good balance between damage and fire rate. And you can put a lot of shots down range that deal heavy damage versus something like the M13, which has a fast rate of fire but doesn't deal the damage. So currently for the beta, I think the M4A1 is the best assault rifle so far as of rank 10 that we can get to on this first couple days of the beta. Secondly is the AK-47. I leveled this one out as well, and obviously is your Russian standard assault rifle, 7.62mm rounds. Does a lot of heavy damage, but slow rate of fire. Next up, we have the M13, which again, like I said, high rate of fire, low damage. I leveled this one out. I like it a lot, but it just doesn't put your enemies down as fast as I would like it to versus the M4A1. Now we're gonna get into the territory of the weapons that we can't quite unlock, but first we'll get to the FR556 or the FAMAS, and this weapon obviously is your standard assault rifle when you first start before you can unlock creative class. This is one of the pre-selected class rifles that you can use. 3-round burst, really good damage. Usually it's about a 1 to 2 round burst kill. Now to the weapons that we cannot unlock as of right now for the day 2 of the beta. We have the Odin, which again, as I've discussed in my last video, is based off the Ash 12.7mm, so that's a 50 caliber Russian assault rifle developed for the FSB. Now the new weapons that we have confirmed are the Kilo 141, which looks to be the ACR. I know we had some rumors that this was going to be in the game and it was going to be called the Kilo 141, so now this is confirmed. And again, the ACR 5.56mm rounds typically. And if you remember this from Modern Warfare 2, this is a fan favorite, so I'm really looking forward to getting my hands on this when the full game comes out. And I don't think we'll be able to get our hands on it in the beta because it doesn't have a level cap that it's unlocked, and the rumors are that the beta is only going to go up to level 30 as of next week when we do the cross-platform. So I don't think we'll be able to use anything beyond the Odin, but when the full game releases, we'll be able to get our hands on this. Next up, we have the FAL, or the FAL, and again, this is a semi-automatic DMR style assault rifle. Again, returning from Modern Warfare 2, deals heavy damage, 7.62mm rounds. And then the last unlock for the assault class is the FN SCAR 17S or the MK17 or the SCAR H. So just a little bit of different naming convention here. Again, this is a assault rifle, fires a 7.62mm round, deals heavy damage, slow rate of fire, and usually a small magazine size, around 20 rounds. So I'm looking forward to playing with that one as well. That's one of my favorite assault rifles. That one, again, returning from Modern Warfare 2. Next up for the SMGs, we have the MP5. This is, again, probably the best submachine gun in the beta so far. 9mm submachine gun, deals pretty good damage, very stable. It basically has no recoil so far in the beta, so I like that one a lot. Then we have the MP7 and the AUG, of course, which is one of the pre-select classes as well. Then the new weapons are R90, which is also returning from COD 4 or Modern Warfare Remastered, as well as some of the other Call of Duty games. So again, this is a 9mm submachine gun, very high rate of fire, as well as pretty decent damage as well. The M19 BIZON, so this again is returning from Modern Warfare 3, and we've seen it in some other first-person shooters as well. Fires a 9mm round, has a pretty funky looking clip on that. That's a fan favorite submachine gun, as I said, so I'm looking forward to playing with that one as well. Then the last one is the Uzi 9mm. So again, this is returning from COD 4 days. That should be pretty fun to use as well. I'm a little bummed out the UMP isn't in here, but hopefully that'll be something that'll come either as a post-launch content or something that actually in the final build of the game when it's released. I'm sure there's still some weapons they're not showing us here. But next up, we'll get into the shotguns. So of course we have the Model 680. And the 725 shotguns we've seen. And then it's good to see the images of these finally. We have the R90 Shotgun. And this shotgun is a double barrel shotgun that provides 2 rapid shots before you need to reload, so that should be pretty good. And then of course the Origin 12 shotgun. So this is a Kalashnikov style shotgun, semi-automatic shotgun with a very high rate of fire. So that'll be one that's probably not good at longer range, but up close you're gonna wreck people with that one. So that'll be good. And again, I always like the Kalashnikov style weapons. The Origin 12, it reminds me a lot of the Saiga from other first-person shooter games, and that's, again, a Kalashnikov-style assault rifle. So it may be a build off that, or this could be, the Origin 12 could be an evolutionary weapon of that, just basically an enhancement. Next up for the light machine guns, again, the M91 and the SA-87. So the SA-87 had a name change from the Alpha, and from the previous builds we've seen, it used to be called its real-life name, which is the L86A2, and here we see the name change to the SA-87, but it's still the same gun. Nothing else has changed with that. And again, the M91 is based off the MG5, so that's a 7.62mm German heavy machine gun, and whereas the SA-7 is a 5.56mm heavy machine gun. Then the new ones, we have the PKM. So this, again, as I said in my previous video, is a 7.62mm Russian heavy machine gun. And again, this is an older style of the Russian machine guns. It has currently been replaced by the PKP Pecheneg. So this is an older model, but again, this is returning from Modern Warfare 3 as well as Modern Warfare Remastered. So then we have the MG34. So we have seen this in the previous builds, but we haven't seen it. But we haven't been able to play with it yet. It wasn't in the 2v2 alpha, but it was at the original reveal event. So here it is, World War II light machine gun used by the German army. Fires a 7.62mm round. Very high rate of fire. And again, this was one that was replaced by the MG42, but it actually was superior to the MG42. The MG42 was a cheaply made weapon, whereas the MG34 was built to last. So we have seen the gameplay of that, so I'm really excited to actually get my hands on that when the game comes out. It's a shame they didn't have it in the 2v2 alpha, but it looks really nice. And basically in the description, they're just saying that some of these old refurbished World War II weapons still are utilized and are reliable weapons today. Which is true. I'm pretty sure that these are used in the Middle East by, obviously, second-hand armies. Then next we'll get into the marksman rifles. So first we have the EBR-14, which we've seen before. It was called the M14, but now they just changed the name around. So this was in the 2v2 alpha. Nothing else has changed about it besides the name. And this is not unlockable for the first weekend of the beta, so hopefully they'll increase the level cap supposedly for the cross-platform event, so we should be able to unlock it and use it then. Then secondly, we see the MK2 Carbine, which we saw in the 2v2 alpha, but then here we are with the confirmation of the Kar-98K. So again, this is another German World War II weapon being used in this game, so I'm excited to get my hands on that. And again, that's bolt action, so it'll be interesting to see how that works as a marksman rifle. And then the sniper rifles, we have the AX-50, which again was in the 2v2 alpha, and then here's the confirmation of the Dragonov, which this is a Russian 7.62mm sniper rifle. And then also the HDR. So we did see gameplay of the HDR at the reveal event. Don't know what caliber the weapon itself is, and it almost looks like a suppressor on the end there, but it's not. It's just the barrel design on that. And then getting in the pistols, again, we have the 50GS or the Desert Eagle, which we saw in the 2v2 alpha, and we've seen a lot of gameplay of, and this one's just really fun to use, so nothing new here. And again, that's a 50 caliber round that one's firing. Then we have the M19, which we saw in the 2v2 alpha. It was very weak in the 2v2 alpha, usually about 6 kills to kill an opponent, or 6 shots to kill an opponent. So it looks like they did buff it a little bit since the alpha. It is a little bit easier to use, but still it seems like a pea shooter. Next up is the X16. So again, this looks like a Glock 17 almost. It's not the full automatic version, so it is a semi-auto, what they're saying. But there may be a weapon perk to put on that to make it full auto. So it'll be interesting to see, because it does look a lot like the G18 or the Glock 18. And the Glock 18 and the Glock 17 usually look pretty similar. So I'd be interested to see if you can put a weapon perk on this to make this fully automatic. Next up, we have the M1911 Colts. So again, we haven't seen the gameplay of this one, and it was just rumored, but here it is finally in the game. And again, that's your standard US military pistol with a 45 caliber round, does high damage and a small clip size. And then the next one is the 357 Magnum. So we did hear rumors of this one as well, and here it is confirmed. It looks really pretty. It'll be interesting to see how this one performs. The damage on this is a little bit less than the Desert Eagle, so it'll be interesting to see what the headshot multiplier is with this one, if it's going to be a one-hit kill similar to the Desert Eagle or not. Then moving on to launchers, we do have 2 new confirmed launchers here that we had a pretty good idea were in the game. So again, you have the Pilla and the Strela P, which we've seen already. And then we have confirmation here of the RPG-7, which you can't have a Call of Duty game without an RPG-7, right? And then we have the Javelin coming back. And in this one, it's being called the Joker, so that's pretty interesting. So I'm really excited to use some of these new weapons that we have here, especially the Kilo 141 being the ACR. I'm pretty sure is what that's going to be. Excited to see how that performs compared to the M4A1 and the M13. But that's it for the new weapons right now, guys. I'm sure hopefully there'll be some new ones when the game launches. Like the UMP-45, I'd really like to see make a return to the game, as well as the Vector. And again, those are rumored weapons already that we've heard rumors for, so maybe those are going to be saved for DLC or post-launch weapons, or maybe they will be in the final build. But Let me know what you guys think below. What guns are you enjoying most in the beta? I'll be doing a video breaking down the weapons that I like the best in the beta and just showing you off some of the builds and some of the new features as well. There's some new features that I talked about in my previous new weapons video a couple months back. And one of the things I brought up was gun recipes, where you could copy a loadout. And you can see that on the screen when you get killed. On the PlayStation, in the bottom left-hand corner, there is a button. It is prompting you to hit the triangle button to copy the loadout of the opponent that killed you. So that is now confirmed to be in the game. We can see it here and use it in the game currently. So that'll work. Obviously, if you have the unlocks for that weapon and the weapon attachments, you'll automatically equip that and spawn with that weapon. So let me know in the comments down below, guys. Are you excited to use some of these new guns? I think they look really good. I was excited to see what they actually looked like in the game. So it's one thing to see them on the gun bench and you can inspect them, which is cool, but I'm really excited to see what the attachments look like and especially how they handle. I think most of all, I'm looking forward to using the Scar H at the MK17 because that's just overall one of my favorite assault rifles. And I'm still looking forward to using the Odin. We can't unlock it this first weekend, but I think the second weekend of the beta, they're going to bump up the level cap to 30 and we'll be able to unlock it then. So I'm definitely going to be grinding next weekend and make sure I'm hitting max rank so I can get some good gameplay footage with those weapons. And it'd be pretty cool. Maybe they will unlock some of these guns like the Kilo 141 and the Scar H for us to get our hands on. That'd be cool. But let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And until next time, Buffner Gaming out.